On this show, we love to dissect different professions. We've looked at neurosurgeons, pilots, high-stakes stuff.
Mm.
But I want you to picture a job where every single time you sign your name, you are effectively vouching for someone's survival.
It sounds dramatic when you put it that way, but you're not wrong. It's a heavy signature.
You are telling the world, this person is ready to face a 30-ton truck on the highway, in the rain, and live to tell the tale.
Right.
Today, we aren't talking about doctors. We are diving into a fascinating series called Mastering the Range by the Motorcycle Safety Institute, specifically the work of Hein Jonker.
This is a really unique set of documents. It's basically the playbook for professional motorcycle instruction in South Africa. And it's incredibly detailed.
And before you, the listener, tune out thinking, I don't ride a motorcycle, this isn't for me, hang on.
Yeah, definitely stick around.
Because what we found here isn't just about shifting gears. It is a masterclass in psychology, endurance, crisis management, and how to teach someone to survive in a hostile environment.
Absolutely. Whether you're a teacher or a manager, there's gold here. Jonker frames this whole thing around a core conflict in the industry. It's a battle between what he calls the license factory and the rider academy.
I love that distinction. The license factory just feels so industrial.
That's exactly what it is, like a conveyor belt. In South Africa, you have a government test, the K53 test.
Right.
It's a yard test. You ride around some cones. You do an emergency stop at a very low speed. A license factory has one goal: get you to pass that test.
Which sounds fine until you realize the test doesn't simulate a minibus taxi cutting across 3 lanes of traffic.
Precisely. The test is sterile. The road is chaos. So Jonker argues for the Rider Academy approach. You're not just teaching skills to pass a test. You're cultivating a safety culture.
So our mission today is to unpack how an instructor actually does that. We're going to look at the instructor's own mindset, the student psychology, the silent tools, and what happens when it all goes wrong.
And it really has to start with the instructor, because before you can fix the student, you have to be in the right headspace yourself.
Jonker lists these 10 strategies for dealing with training pressures. And I have to say, some of them felt pretty militant. The first one was the late arrival policy.
30-minute rule.
Right. If a student is more than 30 minutes late, they're sent home. No refund. That feels harsh.
It does feel harsh, but you have to look at it through a risk management lens.
Yeah.
Punctuality here isn't just about politeness. It's the first step in discipline.
So if 30 minutes late,
They've missed the safety briefing, they've missed the mental warm-up, they're coming in cold, flustered, and they're disrupting the flow of the class. It actually compromises the safety of the students who are on time.
that makes sense. It sets the tone immediately. We take this seriously. And speaking of tone, there's a script he suggests for rude students.
Oh, this is brilliant.
You are either part of the problem or part of the solution.
Exactly. You pull them aside, you don't argue, you just give them that choice. Decide now if you want to stay and learn or leave without a refund. It just cuts right through the drama.
It's strictly professional, but beyond the mental stuff, I was surprised by the physical toll. I picture an instructor just standing around with a clipboard.
Far from it. Jonker calls it an endurance sport. You're looking at 15,000 steps a day.
And most of that is walking backwards.
Yes. Walking backwards, gesturing, trying not to trip over cones, all while the Mzansi sun is beating down.
Sounds exhausting.
Heat exhaustion is a real threat. He mentions the instructor shuffle. You need good boots because back pain starts in your feet.
Yeah.
And the hydration rule is, well, it's strict.
He is adamant. Coffee does not count.
It doesn't.
That is a personal attack on me. Coffee always counts.
In an office, maybe. But on the range, caffeine is a diuretic. By the time you feel thirsty, your cognitive function has already dropped. You can't have brain fog out there.
And what about vocal health? He says stop screaming.
Yeah, because if you're screaming over 6 engines, you'll lose your voice. But more than that, it's just bad communication. The student can't hear you properly, so use hand signals. Thumbs up, tap the helmet for think.
Yeah.
It saves your voice and makes them look at you.
So you've got the physical strain, but then there's the mental side. He talks about compassion fatigue.
This is a big one. Imagine teaching the friction zone, that little clutch movement, 5,000 times. To you, it's boring. You can become robotic.
But for the student, it's their very first time. They're terrified.
Exactly. And if you check out mentally, you miss their fear signals. He says the cure is to find joy in their small wins. When a student finally nails a U-turn, you latch on to their excitement. That shared dopamine hit is what recharges you.
I love that. Okay, let's pivot to the students because there's this great line. An instructor is part mechanic, part writer, and part psychologist.
You really have to be. You have to fix the head before you can fix the writing.
Jonker breaks them down into three main archetypes. First up, student type A, the frozen student.
This is the most common beginner, the fear factor. You'll see it physically, shoulders up to their ears, a death grip on the bars.
And in that state, they literally can't learn, can they?
Biologically, no. Their cortisol has spiked. They're in fight or flight. The part of the brain that processes instructions basically shuts down. You can shout, relax, all day,
Yeah.
but they can't process the word.
So what's the fix?
The hard reset. You have to break the loop, stop the bike, side stand down, engine off, helmet off. You make them take 5 deep breaths. You have to lower the heart rate before you can teach anything.
Okay, so that's the scared student. What about student type B? The I grew up on a farm student.
The ego factor. This is the person who thinks they already know how to ride. They're impatient with the basics.
And I'm guessing they have some bad habits.
A lot of them. They'll cover the front brake with all 4 fingers. On dirt, that's okay. On the road, with a powerful brake, that will send you over the handlebars.
So how do you humble them without just, I don't know, challenging them to a race?
You challenge them with precision, not speed. You do a slow race. Can you ride this bike at a walking pace without wobbling?
Which is incredibly difficult.
It is. And when they wobble, it opens a window for instruction. It shows them that road riding requires a different kind of finesse. It humbles the ego just enough.
Then there's the third type, the brain overload student.
The analysis paralysis student, this is the engineer or accountant, they want to know the physics of counter steering before they've even let the clutch out.
Which doesn't work when you need muscle memory.
Right. If you're thinking, you're not feeling. The fix for them is don't think it, feel it. You have to limit their questions. Give them one single focus point, like just focus on where your chin is pointing. That's it.
And when you do give feedback to any of them, he suggests the feedback sandwich.
Classic technique, but crucial here. Top bun is validation. Good job with the throttle. Meat is the correction. But you need to look through the turn. Bottom bun is the outcome. If you look up, the bike will turn easier.
It preserves their confidence.
Exactly. If you just give them the criticism, they get defensive.
Now, we've talked about the human instructor, but Jonker has this whole section on the silent instructor. He's talking about the equipment.
This is such a valuable perspective shift. The bike is teaching the student constantly. If you put a beginner on a bike with a sticky throttle, what are they learning?
That riding is jerky and unpredictable.
Right. They aren't fighting their own lack of skill. They are fighting the machine. They develop bad habits to compensate. So good maintenance isn't just safety, it's pedagogy.
He also mentions ergonomics, like the levers.
So crucial. If the brake levers point at the sky, a student with small hands literally can't reach them properly. You are setting them up to fail.
And he suggests keeping the fleet uniform, using the same bike for everyone.
It's about standardization. Consistency kills confusion. If I demo a technique on a bike with a sensitive brake and you're on a bike with a spongy one, my demo doesn't translate. If everyone is on the same machine, the lesson applies equally to everyone.
Speaking of the demo, this was one of my favorite parts. The art of the demo. Jonker says it has to be a performance.
It's stagecraft. He calls it the silent movie technique. You have to ride cartoonishly.
Cartoonishly, that sounds unsafe.
Not reckless, just exaggerated. Think about it. The students are 20 meters away. They can't see you just flick your eyes to check a blind spot. You have to turn your entire head until your chin hits your shoulder. Every movement has to be big so they can copy it.
Like being a mime on a motorcycle.
Exactly. And you do it slowly. If you do the demo too fast, their brains can't process what you just did.
There was also a simple note about the sun. Never make the class face the sun.
Simple, but vital. If they're squinting, they aren't learning.
Okay, so we've got the instructor, student, bike. Now the skills, bridging the gap between the range and the road.
Right. The K53 test is all low speed, up to 25 kilometers per hour. That does not prepare you for the highway.
So how do you simulate road dangers in a parking lot?
It starts with reframing the observations. Students do those head checks to tick a box for the examiner. You have to change the narrative. You aren't checking your blind spot because it's a rule. You're looking for the Mr. D delivery bike that's lane splitting.
That makes it real. That delivery bike is a very specific South African hazard.
It is. And when you check your mirrors, it's to make sure the minibus taxi behind you has seen you braking. It turns a chore into a survival tactic.
I also like the idea of using visual cues for emergency stops. Instead of shouting "Stop," you drop a glove.
That's brilliant neurology. On the road, you rarely get an auditory warning before a crisis. A car door opening doesn't make a sound. It's a visual threat.
So if you train them to react to a voice, you're training the wrong sense.
Exactly. By using a visual trigger, you're building the neural pathway from "I sees threat" to "hand applies brake."
Yeah.
You're rewiring their reflexes for reality.
There's also the emergency swerve. And the rules seem counterintuitive. Do not brake and swerve at the same time.
This is pure physics. Think of your tire's grip as a pie. You have 100% of the pie. You can use it for braking or for turning.
But you can't use 100% for both at once.
Exactly. If you grab the brake hard while you're swerving, you're asking for 150% of the grip. The tire will give up. So the drill is brake hard in a straight line, release the brake, then swerve.
Separation of controls.
Yes. It
Yep.
sounds simple, but you have to train that separation until it's automatic.
And that leads us to the darker side of this, crisis management. Because eventually, students will fall.
It's a question of when, not if. And when a crash happens, the instructor has to shift from teacher to incident commander.
The all-stop protocol.
The golden rule is the first casualty must not cause the second one. If a student crashes and you run over to help, leaving 3 other beginners circling, you're inviting another collision.
So everything just shuts down.
Everything. You signal all stop, no one moves until all engines are off, then you attend to the rider.
And then there's a 2-minute rule. I found this really insightful. When someone crashes, they want to jump up and say, "I'm fine."
And you cannot let them. Adrenaline is a powerful anesthetic.
Yep.
It can mask a broken ankle or a concussion. You make them sit. You check for shock. You check the helmet. Only then do you even look at the bike.
People first, metal second.
Always.
And you have to manage the rest of the group too, because fear is contagious.
Absolutely. One person goes down, everyone else gets scared. Their confidence evaporates. You send the rest of the class for a water break. Get them away from the scene while you deal with it.
And of course, there's the legal side, indemnity forms, incident reports.
Compassion must be balanced with protection. It sounds cold, but you document everything. It's part of running a professional rider academy, not just a casual setup.
This brings us back to that core idea of the safety culture. The goal of all this seems to be creating a community.
Jonker talks about the alumni effect. A license factory never sees the student again. And Rider Academy organizes breakfast runs. They have WhatsApp groups.
Why is that so important for safety?
Because the first 6 months are the most dangerous. If new riders have a community, they have mentorship, they have people to ride with who won't pressure them, it keeps them in that safety bubble a little bit longer.
It's like a support group for staying live on 2 wheels.
Essentially, yes. And it's good business. A rider who survives and enjoys riding will send their friends to you.
So as you wrap up, I keep thinking about that phrase from the source. Discipline is love in motion.
It's a beautiful way to put it. It sounds strict, but it's deeply caring. When an instructor is hard on you about following distance, it's not because they want to be mean, it's because they want you to get home tonight.
That moral weight of the signature really stays with you. Your true job isn't teaching a skill, it's saving a life before the rider even enters traffic.
Well said. And for the riders listening, respect your instructors. They're working harder than you think, walking backwards in the heat so you can ride forward safely.
Thanks for listening to this deep dive into mastering the range. Ride safe, keep the shiny side up, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Stay safe out there.